All right. Whew. Troy, what's going on if you're still there? I'm getting my other computer set up. What do we got going on? Well, oops. I know what's going on. Well, how's everybody going? I'm having a little technical difficulty here on my iPad. I'm just gonna shut it down. Anyway, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome back to Daddy Duck in the Blind. So tonight, let's see here. Well, let's get this over with. Daddy Duck 365 in the Blind is brought to you by, of course, www.daddyduck365.com, where you get all your Daddy Duck merch. Also by Salt Creek Custom Ammunition. Listen, this Keith makes some of the best ammunition out there. Y'all really need to go check him out. If you're going to do that, also look over at True Lock Choke Tubes and Biscuit Built 3D. All right, that's out of the way. Who's all in here tonight? I can't. My iPad's down, so everything's going to be running kind of slow tonight. Let's see if I can do it on this other one.
We have just built and released something entirely.
See if we can do it over here. Say, Cole, well, it's Monday night. Yes, sir. It is definitely Monday night. Now where'd it go? Give me a, oh man, come on. There we go. We just have to put it on the phone for tonight. Cole, what's going on, man? I ain't seen you in a while. What you been up to? Man, it's been a week. So did go on another veterans hunt. Missed the last two for work. Gotcha. I did go out Saturday with my dad on a veterans hunt. It was the last veteran hunt. There was no ducks, but we did catch a mess of fish. I got a lot of video on that. I'll be hopefully putting that out as soon as I can. I'm finishing up another video. I got to get it out, and I'm going to get this out, and I got some other things that are coming. Just been having a little problems finding the time here lately. A lot of stuff's going on. I think I had one day off last week. But hey, man, that's good overtime, though. Golly, excuse me, man. So, yeah, we did do a little hunt. Like I said, it was it was warm. I think it got up to about 70 something degrees last Saturday. We did catch a mess of, well, I should say my dad did. He caught a mess of fish. I didn't fish. I just helped him and videoed everything. But we had a good time. We had a real good time. But got a lot of plans. Got a lot of stuff going on. Hopefully soon. I'm probably going to spend tomorrow night doing nothing but videos. Once I get off work, I'm going to sit right here and edit, and try to get a bunch of stuff out. Oh, anything new? Quite sure a handful of y'all watched the game last night. Do you know this? I quit watching pro football. So I did not watch one single play of last night. I'm just not going to be a part of all that. All those divas trying to tell me how I should think. Nope, ain't going to happen. I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to listen to them. But for those of y'all that do watch it, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I heard it was a blowout, pretty much. Let's see here. We got, for you guys that are out west, we got the conservation hunts are starting. Yeah, they got that going on. They should be in full swing. Now, I want to hear from one of the guys in here how he's doing, if they started hunting yet. Hopefully he'll show up tonight. If y'all are hunting conservations, let me know. The conservation snow geese, let me know. I'd like to hear what y'all are doing. We don't have it here in South Carolina, so I'm not going to do anything. I think next weekend, which is you going to do any late goose season hunting? Probably not. Probably not. I'm not big into goose hunting. I got a handful of goose decoys, and I'm not chasing them. If somebody invites me, I might go out, but I'm not going to chase them. Mark J. Larson, what's going on, man? I'm glad you're here tonight. How's the trapping going, buddy? You're the trapping guy in here. How's that going? Hey, excuse me, y'all. I am tired. It was a pretty good long day today at work. And then it went and got cold on us again. As you can see, I'm in a hoodie. But yeah, the hunt, as far as I'm concerned, it's over, and I'm looking forward right now to turkey season. Looking forward to fishing. I know that me and Cole are going to be getting up together here in a couple of weeks, hopefully, and start doing some work on a couple of places. Can't wait for that to start up. I got a big time idea, Cole. Need to get with you about. Shutting down tomorrow and headed to Nashville for the NWTF, then start beaver trapping when I get back. I got you, bro. I got you. Yeah, this coming weekend is we got Seawee this weekend. The Southeastern Waterfowl or Wildlife Expo is now what it's called. It's always on Valentine's weekend, just about. I'm not going. I just decided not to go this year. It's usually I just soon wait till March and go to the Sportsman's Classic in Columbia. So hoping to get there and walk around. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm ready to fish. I'm ready to fish right now. Last Saturday, I kind of got the bug watching my dad catch all them fish. So I got the bug. Yeah, it's gonna rain. Um, this weekend is Valentine's weekend, man. There's no way I'm gonna be going anywhere. not not after me traveling all over God's creation this year. I'm staying home. I think it'd be best for me and my marriage, so I'm gonna stay home. Um, but yeah, in a couple of weeks, man, uh, we're gonna get it right. I do gotta. I gotta probably about a 2-day work over at the other place, Cole. Um, and I think we could turn that into something special. Then I want to get over to where you're at, and you're just gonna work. Um, get over to where you're at and get that taken care of. I figure that will take, depending on what time of day we get in there and what the water levels are like. I kind of think it would take probably about 2 weekends. 2 weekends to take care of all that. I know that one place I got would probably take. It might just take one day if we get there early enough. Clearing some woods for some cutting trees and that kind of stuff. Getting some small stuff out of the way to get some sunlight onto the ground, so we can grow grasses and what kind of stuff for ducks. I want to get it done as quickly as possible because before it warms up and those copper-headed water gators start coming out. In case y'all don't know what a copper-headed water gator is, that's a South Carolina cottonmouth moccasin. We got them pretty big in the 2 swamps I've been hanging around. Um, they get grown. I know one spot we gotta cut a jungle out, but I'm thinking with the right stuff we can get it cut out pretty quick. Get in there and cut a hole in there and open it up some. Jeff Barris, what's going on, buddy? Have y'all started your conservation hunts? We're in Nebraska. I wish I could get up there. And I can't believe they got two big. They got NWTF, and that's this weekend, isn't it? In the NWTF this weekend, Mark. I mean, it's Valentine's weekend, dude. I am very surprised they're having it. Let's see here. But yeah, we got a couple places we're gonna cut out on some private stuff we got. So that's it's open, but too cold and snow. It's open, but too cold and snowy for them to come north yet. I got you. Well, man, I hope y'all get into them. I really do. Want to run my big boat? Yeah, I just got the prop put on. I got a new prop put on mine. On the, if y'all are familiar with the Go Devils, on the older models, the prop screws on, and so you have a so you got the prop here, you got a front nut here. You take that off, and then you're supposed to be able to just, use a pipe wrench or to unscrew the prop. The problem is it was I'm not saying rusted on there, but it was tight, and we couldn't break it free with a regular pipe wrench. So I went over to a friend of mine's house, or to his shop actually, and he's a Go Devil dealer here in South Carolina, and he's got a actually what they call the prop winch, which is basically just slides over the shaft. Got a little thing that sticks out that goes in between one of the props. It's got 2 cheater bars. One person gets on one side, one gets on the other side, and you either pushing down or pulling up, and then it came right off. What's say, Grant? What's going on? Ducks everywhere, huh? Just got home right around. I need to, like I said, I just got my prop put back on the boat. I hadn't even taken it out. I got to do, I got to work on the trailer on mine. I got to do a little welding to it, and I'm going to clean it up, and then I'm going to put new bunks and bunks on it. Now it's just a matter of time when I can get with where I'm going to take it, because I got to take the boat off to get to the bunks. There are ducks everywhere in Utah right now. Hey, Keith, what's going on, man? Mallard drakes all colored up. Grant, can you tell if they're headed north, or are they still coming from the south from where you're at? Can you tell? And Keith, how about the same question to you? Can you tell if the birds are coming from the north, or are they coming back? If they're coming from the north, are they coming back from the south? Keith, I did not get a chance to do that video we were talking about Saturday. By the time I got back, after I got off the phone with you and cleaned a bunch of fish, got home, I'm going to be quite honest with you, man. I took a shower, I got something to eat, and I went to bed. I died. So I didn't get a chance, but I'm hoping tomorrow after I get off work, I'm going to do that video that me and you talked about. I got everything ready to do it. I just got to set it up. All I got to do is just set it up. I don't ever see migrators per se, just farm fields and ponds full of ducks. Headed north, I think we had a record high 73 a couple of days. Okay. Well, keep your eyes peeled to the skies, because I think we're still going to get some cold weather, which may drive them back, which they will do. They'll migrate both all the time, north, south, east, west. See what they do. I'm just kind of curious. I know the season's over with, but like I always tell everybody, it's not a passion, it's not an obsession, it's a lifestyle. I like to know what they're doing. But yeah, I got the boat. I just got to get a piece welded on. We have some snow tonight. I got you. I got to get the piece welded on the boat and redo the bunks. And I mean, I can take it and put it in the water right now. I just want to get it all fixed up, get it all taken care of, redo the trailer lights, the trailer wiring rather. My name is Jeff. I got a duck hunting blonde for over 40 years now. What's up, RD? Tell Noah I said hey. Yeah, this was a very bad duck season. This is, whew. Um, the only thing I shot other than wood ducks was a couple of early teal in Louisiana and a couple of widgeon in North Carolina, and that was it. The mallard, the only mallard I saw close enough to shoot, there was 4 people shooting at it, so I would assume they're headed south. Big water is locking up around here. Okay. Um, it was a bad season. So, yeah, it's just a terrible season. It was terrible all the way around. I mean, for the most part, if you put everything together, you can. I've talked to people all across the country. I mean, here's Grant. I know Jeff had a bad year. I know Keith's had a bad year. I'm not saying they didn't. Some people didn't have some good days, but if you combine it all together, all the way around, I think it was just a bad year. We didn't get the weather because I've never known a weatherman to be right to begin with, but we just didn't get the weather to drive the birds down. Again, I keep telling everybody this over and over, and all ducks need is food, water, rest, and if they've got those things, and if they got open water, they don't need to move. They'll stay right there. I mean, you'll have your photo period birds and whatnot that'll move, but for the most part, if they've got open water, they're not going anywhere. They don't need to. Food, water, rest is what it's all about. We went from hot to froze up. Yeah. I've been talking to some people, and especially for you guys that are here in South Carolina, and there something has to be done. Hey, Ron, what's going on? I had a terrific stand of Chihuahua millet, not one duck, ate one seed, worst season ever. Private spots had a great last week. Grant, same here. Yeah. Man. Like I said, I know some guys that had some good hunts, but they were few and far between. All we can do is pray for a better season next year now. We got, 7 months? And let's see, let's just say it's mid-February. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, mid-September, 7.5 months. I shot 5 shells all season. Great gosh. The ice eater guys did okay. But I've been talking to some people around here, and we're trying to get something to go on. Hopefully, try to talk to maybe a politician about some things. But we need to do something on our public lands here. It's gotten ridiculous now. I am almost, and I say it every year, but I am so close to not even getting a South Carolina hunting license for next year. I am that close, because it's not worth it to duck hunt here anymore. Unless you've got private property, it's just not worth it anymore. I would rather take my money and go out of state and have the possibility of having 3 or 4 great hunts and not worry about it. I mean, it's seriously, it's just gotten that bad. But we're going to try to talk to some people and see if we can't get some, I don't know if we get anything changed, but at least let them know how disgruntled we are. I know that you guys that hunt Arkansas, I heard through the grapevine, I don't know how true this is, but they're talking about going to a draw on their wildlife management areas. And if they do that, they're going to lose all the out-of-state hunters that come there for public hunting, which will, I'm not saying it'll ruin it, but it will put a damper in the local economy. I just wish that the DNRs from across the country and politicians from across the country that are in good duck hunting states, or even mediocre or even bad states, would look at it in a economic standpoint, where the more ducks you can keep here on public water, the more hunters will come, and the more hunters come, the more money will be spent locally in, gas stations, getting gas, getting snacks, getting drinks, buying license, buying ammo, that kind of thing. Mike Green, what's going on? So, it's I wish they would look at it more of an economic standpoint than, are you talking about here in South Carolina, Ron, or just in general? Because, just out of curiosity, it's something I've been thinking about, for South Carolina, and that we need a rest day. North Carolina does this, and I kind of agree with them. They have no Sunday waterfowling whatsoever. That's both public and private. Generally, I'm in Ohio. Okay, Ron, I can't never remember where anybody's at anymore, and I'm sorry, but cutting back one day and making it a Sunday where there's no waterfowl hunting is going to give those ducks a rest day. Now, every state is different. Every state has their own set of problems, and I got that. But you take our state, for example, when I've talked about this before, there's basically 3 types of public duck hunting in South Carolina. You have a Category 1 wildlife management area, and that is a lottery hunt. Then you have a Category 2 wildlife management area, and that is generally open either one day or sometimes 2 days a week, depending on where it's at. And then you have open public, and this is not a WMA. This is just where you can go duck hunting, and you can hunt in these areas 7 days a week. You can duck hunt and fish and run your boat 7 days a week. So yeah, and I'll get to that here in just a second, RD and Mark. But with that said, in all these boats, there needs to be a time frame as well. You need to quit hunting at noon. You need to be off the water at 12. At 1, and there needs to be some heavier restrictions. We're disturbing the ducks. The ducks don't have time to rest. The ducks get up and leave. They get out of Dodge. Now, I understand that a lot of guys work Monday through Fridays. Mark works 6 days a week. I got it. It hurts, I hunt 5 days. I mean, I work 5 days a week, you know. But if we don't start doing something now and getting kind of drastic with it for the next 5 or 10 years, we're not going to have anything else. There's not going to be any ducks left in South Carolina. They'll all be on private, and that's where they're at now. They're all on private because there's not enough food. There's too much pressure, and something's got to be done. Something has to be done. And it just has to be done. And these things, we need to come to, we need to have a as they would say, a come to Jesus meeting about the waterfowl management, especially in my state, because it is, I'm not those that really doesn't hurt me. I got you. It's gonna, if we don't start putting something and doing something, then it's gonna hurt. It's already hurt us, and we've got to we've got to slow it down. I'm not saying every state needs to do this. You know, your state is your state, and y'all need to work that out. I'm strictly right now talking South Carolina, and but as a generalization, you're not going to if you don't give these ducks rest days, you know, whether it's self-imposed, you know, which it's just you doing it in your group, but if there's no set law down there, and we appreciate it, Mark, most definitely do appreciate it. You're just not going to have them. They're not going to stick around with the pressure. I mean, the pressure is what's going to drive a duck off. I mean, you take wood ducks, for example. Wood ducks can't take much pressure. You know, you hunt a wood duck, you hunt a beaver pond twice a week, and you're going to quickly run out of ducks. Quick. They're going to get up and go. They're not going to take it. They're just not going to take it. Beaver pond, if you have a private beaver pond, it should be hunted once a week, preferably once every 2 weeks. That's the only way you're going to keep the pressure off of them, because they won't take it. They will not take it. They will get up and go. And that is really hard, especially for guys that strictly hunt their little piece of heaven. But it's something you got to think about. And here, and I'm going to be very specific on this, but you take the Santee Swamp, the Sparkleberry Swamp, it's 7 days a week, man. I mean, people are going up there 7 days a week. They're banging on ducks. They're running their boats full blast, running them off. 2025, 2026, the outlaw years. Yep. What is it? I see the corn. I don't see what the other one is. I can't tell what it is. Looks like a peanut and a piece of bread. I don't know. But, you know, there's just something's got to get done. I mean, seriously, guys. I mean, seriously. Something has to be done. Or we just won't have them for the future. They'll be gone. And, you know, do you want to kill ducks right now, or do you want to have ducks for your children and your grandchildren? I mean, that's what you got to think about now. This is just what you got to start thinking about. You know, we can't control the weather. We can't control the weather whatsoever. So the only thing we can control is water levels, food, and we can control rest. And like I said, if we have those three, corn plus high brass, number 6 copper plated lead equals limits. Yes, sir. But if we really don't start thinking about these things and pushing them throughout the year, you're going to see more of what we all experienced this year. I mean, Ron said he shot 5 times. Jeff didn't kill many ducks in Nebraska. I know Keith had a bad year. RD, I don't know if your year was good or not, that good or not. I mean, I know you had some great hunts on the coast, but, you know, my hunts in North Carolina, South Carolina, even in Arkansas when I went, it just wasn't that good. And that is mostly controlled by weather, because the food and the water was there. The rest days, hunting the WMAs and whatnot, there's rest days out there. So it was weather. We can't control that. Had an okay year. Been better for sure. Yeah. But if we don't start, and I'm really preaching to the guys in South Carolina, if you don't start thinking about these things and contacting your politicians, your legislators in your area, whether it be state congressmen or state senators, or even federal reps and federal senators, I mean, we got to start pushing, and we gotta form up and become as a collective group. And we cannot continue to just think of ourselves anymore. This has got to stop. We've got to come together, and we've got to start thinking about the future. You know, I mean, I'm old enough to remember when South Carolina was awesome, when it was absolutely an awesome place to hunt and fish. And, you know, the mallards are pretty much gone. And I'm even going to talk about tame ducks for a little bit. The release mallard program, that's got to go. That has got to go. That benefits nothing. It's already proven by, you know, biologists, waterfowl biologists. These released ducks are breeding with wild ducks, and they're genetically mutating these other ducks. They've already seen it with shorter bills. The mallard, I'm talking about the mallard here, with shorter bills. Their teeth, their filtering system, you know, the teeth that the ducks have to filter are not the way a wild duck should be. They're not feeding correctly. They're usually lighter weight. A lot of issues going on, and they're not wild ducks. And I mean, they're, you know, and these guys that are releasing ducks, this the kind of thing needs to stop. It needs to stop. You know, and we're not just talking about 1 or 2 corn ponds that are releasing ducks. We're talking about hundreds and thousands of these corn ponds that are releasing ducks up and down the Atlantic Flyway. Hey, Charles, what's going on? So this kind of thing needs to stop. I am not going to sit here and tell a man who owns a piece of property that he can't plant corn and flood it. I'm not going to tell you I don't like it, but I'm not going to tell you you got to stop. That I'm not going to ever do. I don't prefer it. I prefer more soil application. But you know, if you got the money and you want to plant corn, to me that's just legalized baiting. To be honest, because I don't know how many farmers that I have in here, but I guarantee you there's enough people in here that have seen farms. You don't flood corn. Farmers do not flood corn. So there's not a common agricultural practice. Now, if you have high water that year, a lot of rain, and your fields get flooded in 2 or 3 inches, that's one thing. But to flood these things 3 to 4 feet so the ducks can get to the corn, That's not a normal agricultural process, and to me, that is legalized baiting. That's what it is. And I'll just be quite honest. We've all heard it. I know every last one of you have heard it. Rich man brings water to the corn, and a poor man brings corn to the water. But the act of this, as far as corn, I'm not going to tell a man he can't. I just tell you that I don't like it. I don't prefer it. Come on, I'm trying to get some people to argue with me a little bit. But anyway, but as far as in South Carolina, I think we ought to follow suit with North Carolina and have Sundays as a rest day. Now, with that, you're still going to get your 60 days because it's going to get pushed back into October, 2 weekends in October. When I say weekends, I mean one will be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. One will be a Friday, Saturday. You'll start earlier in November, other than the Thanksgiving, and you can hunt Monday through Saturday. You have that opportunity, and it will give them that rest day. I think some areas that are open public areas, bird flu killed off thousands of birds here in Utah. Well, give something to argue about. You're talking the truth. I know. I lost my train of thought there for a second. But, so you're going to get your days back. You just hunt Monday through Saturday. But there's some open public areas that I think need to be incorporated into a wildlife management area. Now, it's going to be hard to keep people out, but that's what the DNR is for. Okay, that's their job. But in some of these places, a lot of these places need to have a noon cutoff. And you got to be out of the area by 1, and nobody else. You can't go back in there. You can't go back in there. Not even to fish. Some of these open public can't even go back in there to fish, because what's happening is these guys. A lot of these guys, they'll pack up, and then they'll ride through the swamp, just wide open, blaring music, running ducks up. That's what they do. So, we need to take some of this stuff in consideration as well. Speaking of WMAs, I don't know if I spoke on this last week or not, but for you South Carolina guys, we have a place called the Green Timber, Hickory Top Green Timber Unit. I have heard through the grapevine that they're talking about making it a lottery draw, which I think would be a great thing. It would limit the people going in there. And I think it's a great idea. Personally, it would limit the people that are going in there. That way you can get a quality hunt. Even if you're just past shooting wood ducks, you still get, you're not worried about everybody blaring and carrying on and hollering and screaming and whatnot. That can, so I think that's a great idea, personally. Now you understand in part why I'm morphed into a bird watcher as opposed to a bird hunter. I got you, bro. I'm not quitting duck hunting, but I'm just saying that South Carolina is the public areas are just overrun, and we've got to pull back the reins a little bit. How do they count no Sunday hunting each week? Would have a split, and we can't split here in Nebraska. That's what I'm saying. Each state has got to figure this out, Jeff. I'm just talking strictly South Carolina. Under what we have now, and going by what North Carolina does. I personally think North Carolina has a great system. I mean, honestly, I really do. I think they got a great system. They have on their October hunts, they have a Western zone for one weekend. You can hunt, I believe it's Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think on the first weekend that you can hunt in October, it's anything west of, I believe it's I-95. I think that's right in there is the cutoff. And then the following weekend is the coastal zone. So that can be easily done here in South Carolina. I mean, easily. And you can use barriers. I got you, but here's the thing. I understand what you're saying, Jeff, for the working man. I got it. I mean, we're all working men in here. We're every last one of us. But if we don't do something, we're not going to have anything. And like I said, I am strictly talking about South Carolina in my home state. Like I said, every other state's got to figure it out how they want to do things. But we've got to make some serious concessions. What's up, Randy? What's going on? I almost got everything I need, Randy, and then I'm gonna give you a call. I got the prop put on. Well, RD don't work much. No, he don't. He says he does, but he really don't. I'm a working man. I've never hunted on Sunday. Never has bothered me. There you go. I mean, I didn't do it this year because the ducks just never showed up until like the last week of the season, and at which time I was still trying to figure out how to get my truck fixed again. But I was going up there and shooting ducks, and having a good time doing it. So, again, it's just I'm strictly talking South Carolina. So you South Carolina folks that are in here, is what I'm talking about. The rest of the states, I mean, you gotta look at what your issues are. Is it overpressured, which I think is our state, or is it more of was it weather related? And if it's weather related, there's nothing you can do about it. Not a thing. Nothing you can do about it. And I know what some people say, well, I can't hunt Monday through Friday, or we don't, I can't do this, or I can't get off that. I understand that. I got it. I understand. My son works a lot of Saturdays, so Sunday's pretty much important to hunt. I got you. Listen, David, I got you, man. I'm hearing what you're saying, but we are in an overpressured state. Our state is just well over. You know that as well as I do. People sitting up on top of each other. You can't. You can go into Spalkerberry sometimes and pass a cup of coffee around the whole swamp and never have a drop fall out of that coffee. It's absolutely crazy. And people running their boats wide open through there, blaring music. I know you've heard it. And I got it. Sundays are very important to hunt. I got it. But we need something. We need to do something. All I'm doing is I'm just throwing out suggestions. But we need something drastically done to get ducks back. And I know right now we need food up there. We need food in the swamp. That is something that is something that is probably the hardest thing to try to get done. Is to because you're talking about having to draw water down and cut trees out. But that's something. So, but we're overpressured, and I'm talking about overpressure. I mean, you know as well as I do. I mean, it's just flat out overpressured. I went. Where did we go? I think the 3 times that I went on the lake, I hunted with you, buddy. I hunted with y'all, and you know I mean, that was I went to the swamp twice. Both times was with you. Went down to the other end of the lake just to check it out. I thought something was going to happen because of the grass, the good grass, which was gone, by the way. All that nice flat of eel grass was pretty much gone. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it flooded out or if grass carp got to it or something got to it or it got sprayed. I don't know what happened, but it was, I mean, terrible. There was just nothing there. I can't tell you the last time I hunted a Sunday, to be honest with you. Even when I went to Arkansas, we didn't even hunt that. Even though we could, we just didn't. Wasn't nothing there. But it's, we got to make some kind of concessions. I'm just giving you something to think about. No, we're not going to have them. We're not going to have them. It's not going to be worth it. People are just going to, I mean, there's nothing wrong with going out and shooting a wood duck. I mean, nothing in the world wrong with that. Nothing. I love doing it. I love shooting wood ducks. But we got to do something. Something's got to be done. John, how you doing, buddy? Anti, what's going on? I saw you come in. I was just in a rant. What's going on? I might have to come out of this sweat jacket here in a minute. I might as well go ahead and do that now. I'm starting to get worked up and get hot. Oh well. No, well, there's 2 sides of that, buddy. I think the only reason why we have ducks in our area is because of the flooded corn ponds. I don't like flooded corn ponds. But I'm not going to sit there and tell a man that he can't. I prefer a moist soil application of some sort, but that would be a hard sell to tell somebody they can't do that. I got you, bro. Yeah, that's your side of it. I got it. I'm of all the years that I've been duck hunting in this state and all the people that I know, most everybody knows that I don't prefer corn ponds, and I've never hunted one ever. I've hunted some flooded corn fields that were cut, that got flooded because of rain. I've done that. I've hunted flooded cornfields that was close to a river, and the river came out of the banks and flooded the field. I've hunted in places like that, but I've never hunted an actual corn pond. But You've been preaching to the church for an hour. No wonder you're out. Yeah, I mean, it and I don't want it to sound like that. I don't want this to be a private versus public dispute, because I don't. Let me tell you, if I had my own piece of property that I could do what I wanted to do, it would be a managed waterfowl area, and but I would do moist soil. I got it. Not everyone can own land. This is what I'm talking about. And with public land, it's so overpressured that we can't continue. Now, I'm not just saying that to cut Sunday out just on public land. No, I'm talking about cutting Sunday out for everybody, public and private. No Sunday hunting. And cut out this. Basically, what I'd like to see happen is go to no Sunday hunting for waterfowl, both public and private, and stop the release mallard program. That's what I'd like to see. And this can be on a very much a trial run for because your two busiest days are going to be Saturday and Sunday, and then you've got, with those 2 days back to back like that, you're going to run the ducks out of the area. And you just you're going to have to start going to different places, and I got it. You're going to have to start scouting more. You're going to start scouting harder. You're going to have to start scouting longer, and getting into other places. And I don't own land. I wish I did. I wish I had 10 or 15 acres that I could manage. Wouldn't take much, but I don't have it. But we gotta do something. Something has to be done. And I just hate to say it after all the years that I've been duck hunting. We got to do something drastic, and it's got to happen, or there's just not going to be any ducks for the future. There's just not going to be anything for the future. And I'm talking about with your son and your grandson and grandchildren, they just won't be there, and it'll just be a thing of the past. It will come out. Hey, Swamp Eats Barbecue, what's going on, buddy? I ain't seen you in a while. If we had food, the fishermen ain't gonna run the ducks off. We ain't banging at ducks. We were in the swamp yesterday with ducks everywhere, fishermen everywhere, sitting in puddles right beside. That's because nobody's banging at you. There ain't nobody banging at them, And I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna see a lot more ducks in the swamp. And I'm gonna tell you why. I can tell you right now, and no, well, they finally got here. They just finally migrated. No, I'm gonna tell you why. Because they're draining the corn ponds. Saturday was the youth day, the last youth day, last veteran hunts day, and they are draining those ponds. And when they drain them out, the ducks have got to go somewhere. So where they're going, they're heading off and look for other food. That's why you're seeing more ducks right now. It's in South Carolina. In South Carolina, Wednesday and Saturday is the most busy. Yeah, Wednesday and Saturday. That's if you're hunting the ponds. And what does everybody else do? They run in there try to hunt those 2 days. But Sunday is a very busy day. So if you've got Wednesday and Saturday being your most, why not give them 1 day? Give them 1 day to rest, where nobody's running in there and banging on them. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. There you go, Jeff. Oh, I knew this was going to be controversial when I started it up. I knew, and like I said, I don't have all the answers. I'm just giving you what I think is, an option, something to think about. But so in order to get ducks here and get them into the public areas, what can we do? I mean, you tell me. You tell me what your ideas are. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to hear them. Monday through Thursday off done. I don't see how you're gonna do that one, but okay. So when would you start duck season, RD? When would you start duck hunting? If you said Monday through Thursday and you got 60 days to do it in, because the states are regulated by the U.S. Fish and Game, hire real management people to do what in the public area. I'm not talking about the cat ones and the cat twos. I'm talking about an open public or well either one, but they got a pretty good manager for a couple of the cat ones. And I'm fixing to hopefully go talk to one of them here shortly. But if you were to take Monday through Thursday off and no hunting, no waterfowl hunting, when would you start the duck season? When would you end it? Because we have guidelines by the U.S. Fish and Game that says you're given 60 days and the cutoff is January 31st. That's, period. And before I go any further, Anti, thank you so much for what you're doing tonight, man. I appreciate it. I think lower limits and no hunting after one. One what? Delta West is just grass, not planted anything. I got it. Delta West is. I got it. Sandworth is having some issues. Oh, after 1 p.m. I got you. What honestly, lowering the limits is going to, I'm playing devil's advocate here. What's that really going to do? Yeah. I don't know what your mallard limit is. I'm thinking because you're in the central, it's what, 5? Are you at 5 mallards now? We're at 4 mallards in South Carolina. So I don't know what your mallard limit is, but why 1 o'clock? Why not 12 o'clock out by 1? I'm just trying to figure out what lowering the limits will do. Heck, no one hits limits in South Carolina. Yeah, that's true. This is true. He's being general. He's in Nebraska. So I'm just, for you South Carolina duck hunters that are in here, what is your suggestions? Seriously. And hire better managers. Well, that takes money. They won't be out here as long. And yes, 5 mallards. Okay. So in Nebraska, what would you say would be your limit then? 4 mallards or 3 mallards, or you say lower the limits on what species, and what needs to be lowered. I got you saying after 1 p.m. I got that. Okay. But my question is to still, what are some answers you think is going to 410 only? The old duck pond I had to hunt, fed them all summer and only hunted the pond every 2 weeks to let the ducks rest. But I lost that land to hunt there. Again, public land. 3 mallards, no more than 4 ducks. All right, so you're talking about going from a maximum of 6 duck limit to a 4 duck limit. Okay. If that works in Nebraska, that could work in Nebraska. I personally don't think lowering the limit is going to help any. I just don't. We already have, right now we can shoot 4 mallards. I don't think I saw 4 mallards this year in South Carolina to begin with. But and right now we're at 3 wood ducks. I don't see where. You could drop the limit of wood ducks back to 2 like it used to be when I was growing up. But who wants to go out and hunt ducks for 2? Hunt South Carolina for 2 wood ducks. So I'm asking, what is? Give me some suggestions. Jeff is in Nebraska saying 3 mallards, no more than 4. Get out at 1. What about the rest of you guys? Got a bunch of people in here. I got 11 people in here. I'd like to hear what you're thinking on how to keep more ducks here. Keep more ducks where you're at. Yeah, I got it. Pouring corn out. I got it. All right. So, but let's get serious about it and tell me what you think is a good alternative to what I was saying. I've been doing this a long time, like some of y'all in here have been doing it a very long time. And I'm seeing the changes that have been going on and on and on, and no one seems to want to say anything. They're all thinking it's all about them at that moment, and they don't want to think about the future. So let's think about the future for a minute, and you tell me. I got what you're saying. All right. And what they won't be out there as long if they get their limit. If they shoot a limit, but you're still going to have, like in my area, Jeff, you're still going to have guys on public land who are going to run their boats and run through the swamp, acting like jacklegs and blaring their music out of the boats, scaring up everything that's around them in the thought that they're scouting for ducks. They're thinking they're scouting for ducks. And that's what's going to happen. If you're hunting potholes where you can glass them for a mile away or so, then cool. A better muffler on mud motors. What is that? Come on, RD. Come on. What is really that? In the long run, I got what you're trying to say, that it's, it won't scare the ducks up. I got that. And I'm actually looking at getting another motor myself. The mod mufflers are so loud. Yeah, they're loud. Oh yeah. I'm straight stock on my stuff. I got a mud motor and I'm straight stock on it. There's no sense of putting a loud muffler on that thing just to get 1 mile or 2 mile an hour better or get faster. But what can we do as far as seasons, limits, days? What can we do? What are y'all's suggestions of what we can do? I told you what I think, Sunday hunting, But you're still going to get your 60 days because it's just going to start earlier, like it does in North Carolina. It's going to start in October. Third week in October, you're going to be hunting ducks. Fourth week in October, you can be hunting ducks. Early November, you're going to be hunting ducks. Yeah. Yeah, it is, Jeff. We're talking swamp where you don't know what's around the corner until you run into it. But our coast is not like North Carolina. Our coast is built up by houses. Yeah. And I know that. And our tides are different. I got that. I got all of that. Are you trying to say that Western zone and the coastal zone could be, let's just, for example, and just to give you an example, anything east of I-95 could be considered an eastern zone, to be in the eastern zone. So you can still hunt Santee. You can still hunt Santee, RD. You just got to hunt it on the other side of the bridge. And then you got everything west of I-95, So what, again, the coastal zone is just a zone. Break it up into zones. I could understand a late opening for the coast, as in you can't hunt the coast until when? I think the season needs to start later and end of February. The problem with that, Randy, and I have not seen any more research on this other than what I saw years ago, is ducks generally start pairing up in late January. And that is the reason why U.S. Fish and Game stops it at January 31st. Now, we cannot, as a state, the U.S. Fish and Game gives us X amount of days to hunt. And they give us 60 days. And they say, okay, you have 60 days. Now it's up to the state to decide when to actually implement those dates. That's the state's rights. The federal says, okay, you have 60 days, but you got to end January 31st. Now, no one in the United States goes past January 31st. So there you go with that. So as we stand right now, that's what I'm talking about. You'd have to get the past into February done federally, but the state can literally start hunting in September and end it on January 31st. So where in that time frame would you want to start hunting? And do you want to break it up into a weekend here and then a weekend there? Or you see where I'm going with this? With a no Sunday hunting, you can actually start and have a weekend in October, 2 weekends in October. It doesn't necessarily need to be a Western and a coastal zone like North Carolina, but you could have those 2 weekends, which would be 5 days, be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or a Friday, Saturday, or a Friday, Saturday, and then open up early in November, and run it and have your split right after Thanksgiving, just like you normally do, and then kick back off. I think, Charles, if I'm not mistaken, I think y'all opened up the 5th of November. Was that correct? Around the 5th or the 8th of November, and you ran it to December or to right after Thanksgiving, and then you opened back up December 13th, 14th, something in that time frame. And then again, with Sundays off, you just run it to January 31st. Open coast zone week of Christmas. Well, why? What's the benefit there, RD? I'm asking a legit question. What would be the benefit of an open coast zone starting the week of Christmas? And why Christmas? And open for open teal. Are you talking about open teal like in September, the 2 weeks we get in September? So why Christmas? What makes Christmas? What makes that coastal zone week in Christmas so special? Let have all that time to move in, but if there's nothing there, they're going to move out. But so if you're given 60 days, you're saying that a coastal zone should be pushed up into the week before Christmas or the week of Christmas, when everybody and their brother, including all the kids, are going to be out of school and can go down there and run everything off. And I'm not just harping on kids, because I know there's kids and the kids love to hunt too. I got that. I'm not fussing at that. I'm just trying to, here in Nebraska, you can hunt ducks from September teal until January 28th if you are mobile and can hop zones, but it could be done. Okay. That's true after Christmas. So now you're saying after Christmas. Why after Christmas? Why coastal zone after Christmas? Why you can't go down to the coast and hunt till after Christmas? It makes, honestly, if we're in a 30, if the U.S. Fish and Game drops it back to 30 days, which there is talk about, then okay, we just start December, December 15th and run it to January 15th. And you got 30 days to hunt now. Period. I'm coming up with something to give you more days to hunt, more throughout the year. You're talking 2 weeks in September. You're talking 2 weekends in October. And trust me, there are ducks here in October. Because that's where all the birds and flooded fields are. Not all of them. But why are you going to, why all in plantations? Well, so the birds are just going to rest up on the plantations? And if they only hunt them once or twice a week, you're still not going to get that good of a hunt to begin with. Because you know as well as I do that he's not going to hunt. They're going to sit on the plantations where the food's at. See, now you're making it a private versus public. I'm trying to make it where we have ducks forever and ever. Amen. Does that make sense? Or is it not making sense to you? Why are you going to tell a plantation owner or an owner of property that he can't hunt his ducks? He's got to wait to Christmas. And then he's only given 30 days. Better than you, no hunt Sunday. Rituals work. What? Man, you got to retype that one, RD. You're going to have to really retype that one over. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm just, if they're given 60 days, and they're going to have 60 days, so they get the same amount of days. Everybody should get the same amount of days. Framework. I heard that, Jeff, they're going to up the pintail. You talk to some people and they say, yeah, that should be done. Then you talk to others and they say, no, we're not seeing any pintails. So I'm gonna have to let the feds call that one. But I'm talking about a time frame. You're given 60 right now. You're given 60 days. You got to stop January 31st as of right now by the U.S. Fish and Game. So if you say no coastal hunting on a Sunday, no coastal hunting until after Christmas, those guys can't hunt. They're not going to get 60 days unless they go somewhere else and they get on the public land or go to another piece of private. We get 74 days in western Nebraska and 83 days. That's your. Are y'all central? Yeah, y'all central flyway. Now is that duck and geese or just ducks only? I don't know if I could hunt 74 the 83 days in a row. Sucks for them to travel like all of us. You're pushing it into a private versus public, and we can't do that. I mean, well, you can. I'm not going to. Mark, thanks so much for coming, man. Charles, we are hunting 2 weeks before South Carolina opens because of no Sunday hunting here in North Carolina. Those are the best 2 weeks of hunting until January when the divers show up. I agree 100%. The best mallard hunting I have ever had on the East Coast before Sparkleberry died was in North Carolina during their October season. Wild mallards, shooting wild mallards in North Carolina. Best hunt I ever been on the East Coast. And that was just a couple, 3 years ago. So we get ducks. There are ducks there are ducks here. And I'm not just talking Sparkleberry. There are ducks in South Carolina in October, mallard ducks. And yep, those were the days. So, yeah, it's going to aggravate some people, but again, quit worrying about today and let's worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, because you're not going to have anything. And your kids are growing up, they're going to be wanting to go duck hunting, and there ain't going to be nothing here. It just won't. I mean, and I'm going to tell you right now that if all the private lands, if all the private lands were to, if they said no more planning, no more making, let's just say they did that, out of hypothetical, there would be no ducks here. None. They would fly straight over to us, fly straight over and head to Florida. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Because you don't, I know you don't remember because it happened. We were watching them. The ducks were leaving. They weren't even staying. And they'd get here. You see them at the refuge. You'd see them in the swamp one day, and they were up and gone the next. And that is because there's no food up there. There's no food. There's not enough food for the ducks to eat. There's actually an equation. It's called ducks per day or ducks per acre or something. And the ducks can eat, like so you take 200 ducks and you put them in a field and they can eat. Generally, they can eat a field out in 2 days. There's just not enough food. There's not enough food on the public areas, no matter where. If you cut out coastal hunting, that you're knocking out Samworth, you're knocking out Santee Coastal, Delta, the Delta West, Delta East. You're knocking all that stuff out of the Ace Basin. You're knocking all that stuff out. It's yeah, and you know, we saw that in the 80s and in the 80s. Couple corn a day per duck. Yeah, I mean, you can there's just not enough food up there, so they're gonna leave. Nothing for the ducks to eat. Again, dropped in your chat. I'm telling you, there's not enough, and they're going to be gone. They're not going to stay, brother. They're not going to stay. They'll get up and go. They'll get up and go. So if it wasn't for private landowners, I'm telling you, we wouldn't see anything here. Oh, you may have a couple of good days if you catch it right, but I'm telling you, you're just not going to see it. It's not going to happen. And the private land, they're not going anywhere. The private landowners ain't going nowhere. There's no way that they could tell them they can't, so they're not going anywhere. And to tell them that they can't hunt, oh Lord, until after Christmas, that'd be a ruckus. That would be that wouldn't last 2 seconds. That fight wouldn't last 2 seconds. Y'all thought the Super Bowl was a blowout. You tell them boys they can't hunt till after Christmas. Yeah, that'll be gone. So what's another? What I mean, other than what I've said, what's give me some ideas here. I'm here. How to keep the ducks around? The ultimate list of duck treats. I'm willing to listen, brothers. I'm willing to listen. Just know that I you know, if you come up with something that makes me go, huh? Okay, I'll listen. We never run out of corn. We just haven't had the ducks to eat it. I mean, we are the corn huskers. That's what I'm saying. Jeff, as far as this year is concerned, this was a bad year. I mean, all the way around, all over, a bad year. From east to west, it was a bad year. Though I guarantee you some guys had some great hunts and some good hunts, but for the most part, and generalize everything, and people I talked to throughout the season, it was terrible until about the last week of the season. When the last week of the season hit, the ducks poured in, and of course, where was I at? I was home because I was trying to get my truck fixed again. If I can't get the land I'm trying to get now, don't know if I will hunt public land much this coming season. Tired of all the people. Yeah, there you go. I said 410 only, hard to hit and low ammo quantities. Well, I don't know why it's so hard for you to hit a duck with a 410. You get them in close enough, son, you can kill them. You'll be able to kill them. You get them in close enough. It's been 4 in a row now. Dang gum, Jeff. But you know, I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing. I want to hear from you because as a youth model, I don't know where y'all come up with a 410 as a youth model. A 410 is an expert gun. Because if you can hit what you're aiming at with a 410, you can hit anything with any gun. It's okay. I didn't even time out or delete 2024. I still looking at 86. You don't need it when that close with that Salt Creek TSS. You got that right. Because the 410 we have is for Noah, a youth model. Well, that's your. I don't know why you started him with a 410. You should have started him with a 20, actually a 20 gauge. My first gun was a 20. I didn't shoot a 410. I didn't get a 410 recently. But let's come up with some season something for the season. I mean, or do you want to keep it pro quo and open up Thanksgiving and hunt public and deal with all that and people camping out and doing all that kind of stuff? And how about what about and then opening back up mid-December and running it to January 31? I mean, y'all want to keep it pro. I mean, if you want to keep it pro quo, then go right ahead. I mean, that's fine. Just say so. Just say so. But if you want to make a difference, we got to come up with something that's going to impact us keeping ducks in this area. And I gave you mine. I gave you my ideas. And all I'm hearing is don't let the coastal zone start after Christmas and shoot 410s. I tell you right now, I kind of agree with you on that 410 thing. I think everybody should. I think that should be the new waterfowling gun, and everybody should shoot 410s. It'll keep the sky busting down. Y'all need to find 12 gauge in your life, then reproper 16 gauge. But I mean, if you're serious, RD, if you're serious, I suggest go get you a 410, and there you go. Okay, all right. It should be 410s across the board. Nobody can hunt with anything bigger than 410. I mean, you're going to miss a lot because that way you get the ducks in close, reduce the sky busting. But we're all jokes aside. I'm just trying to hear what y'all got to say about it. Holy cow. Claude, thank you so much, dude. Oh my gosh. I don't know if y'all can see that. Whoa. Oh, where'd it go? Come back here. No. Whoa, there we go. Finally got it up there. Claude, thank you so much, dude. Man, I'm shocked. Thank you so much. My season is frozen up by the time you get after him. So think of the number of days these things have to stay away from hunters up and down the flyways. Yeah, I got so excited. RD. I haven't gotten a bump like that on a chat, and I can't tell you how long that it threw me off, man. I got excited. I'm just punching buttons to get him up there. Yeah, my season's frozen up by the time you get after them. So think of the number of days these things, I'm saying ducks, have to stay away from hunters up and down the flyways. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to say. I'll see y'all next week. 4/10/2028. What? You're not going to hunt until then, or you're not going to get one until then? Claude, again, thank you so much, buddy. Wow. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that so much. Wow. No, but that might go to a new gun bill or some new shells. But I do appreciate it, man. I do. Man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Yeah. So I mean, I'm open to any suggestions you got. I mean, let's. My last three hunts, my last two hunts, excuse me, was with the 410. I didn't pull the trigger, but that's not the point. I do plan on hunting with it a lot more this year. And this coming season, especially for teal, man, that ought to be something. Well, what do you think? I mean, I'm so seriously interested in what y'all got to think about it, and so you're right now the framework is on the Atlantic Flyway is 60 days, and you can hunt till January 31. So what do we do? Do we keep it pro quo? Put it in the chat, guys. Keep it pro quo, or do we try to find a solution or something else? I know people hate changes. I hate changes. I really do. I hate it with a passion, but I mean, it's. I believe Claude has an awesome guide service in Canada. I don't know. Claude, do you have a guide service in Canada? I don't know if he does or not. I'd like, do you have a guide service? And where at? I'll tell you what, if all jokings aside, guys, but if Canada does become the 51st state, we won't need a passport. I'm just saying, won't need a passport to go up there. I like hunting Canada. I've been to Alberta. I've hunted, and you watch him he's on. Man, I didn't know he was on YouTube. I honestly didn't know. What is it, Claude? What is your channel, man? And Jeff, what is the channel name? I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna get on his channel. I'm gonna binge watch it tomorrow. I just want people to I want people to be thinking about this. I want y'all to just because it ended a couple weeks ago, we need to start thinking about the future. Need to start thinking about the future. And I did mention this last week, and I'm going to mention it again. There is a Facebook page called Youth of Fowl. My late hunting trip. Okay. My last hunting trip, I had to leave Illinois and went to Kansas, back to the family farmland. No Canada. All right. Oh. Got it. I've never hunted in Illinois, and I've never hunted in Kansas. I'd like to. I really would. Appreciate that, Jeff. But we got to start thinking about it. We got to start thinking about what we're going to do, what we're going to leave our kids, and what we're going to leave our grandkids. And these are we as adults have to start thinking about this stuff and quit thinking about us in the moment. We gotta start thinking about these other things, and we got to start thinking and seriously considering what are we going to do. I now let me get back to Youth of Foul before I get on another tangent. The Youth of Foul on Facebook, they are trying to go nonprofit, and they're hoping to go nationwide with this thing, where you as a sponsor will help some kids and get wood duck boxes built and that kind of stuff and put those out. These are things we need to start thinking about. If you've got a place and you've got wood ducks in your area that nest in your area, putting wood duck boxes up. I've come across a couple of properties this year, and of course I don't own them, and I want to talk to the owners and the people who took me hunting there. If we could build some wood duck boxes and put them up, and it doesn't need to be a lot, just a couple, and maintain them. I would love to do that. It's almost getting too late to put them up now, but even if we put them up now, they'll weather in, and something will use them. Something will nest in them, and have a little nesting program going on. I'm going to talk to them about it and see what they say, and if they say yes, then put 2 or 3 up. That way you can go and check them. It won't be a whole big deal. But these are things we need to start thinking about. And as hunters and conservationists, we got to start thinking about these things. Like I said, with South Carolina as being as bad as it's been on public areas here lately, we need to start thinking about other things now. In other states, like you take Arkansas, for example, they have NWRs, National Wildlife Refuges, and they're allowed to hunt them. We're not allowed to hunt ours here as far as ducks go. The possibility of opening them up for draw hunts around here, is that a possibility? And putting them in a federal program to hunt a lottery draw once or twice a week, or just once a week. Things like that need to be thought of. Of course, that's federal, and that's kind of like out of the realm of the state, but there's some things to think about. My personal best is Claude. I don't know if you saw the chat, but Anti is asking, do you have another channel besides that one? I think that we need no Sunday hunting, at least in our state. I'm not going to speak for any other state. I'm just speaking for South Carolina. That way you can start hunting ducks in October. No, Ant, not yet. I'm still moving. Okay. So, what do you give me some ideas? That's what I really want. It's just more ideas. Claude, I want you to do me a favor. And if you will go on my YouTube page to my About page, and you'll see my email address, which I'm going to post it in here anyways. But oh, more Matt. There's my email address. Shoot me an email when you get a chance, buddy. Seriously, shoot me an email. What was the name of that page about the youth? Youth of Foul. Youth of Foul. It's on Facebook. It's on Facebook, Randy. I post my videos over there. I post my videos and pictures over there. But yeah, just things we got to think about, man. I really want to hear what y'all have to say about it. What do y'all think? What do you like? What do you don't like about it? What do you want to see? You know, do you strictly want to stay with the quid pro quo, or you know, what is it that you want to do here? Because it's maybe I'm confused on my clods. But you know, there you go, guys. This is what this is what this live stream is all about. Is just try to come up with something and stir the pot a little bit. That's what I'm doing today. So I think I've stirred it enough. Ain't nothing gonna pop back though. But we are trying to get a hold of a politician or two to listen to. There's a group of us trying to get them to listen to us. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Oh my goodness. We got about 13 minutes. We got some time. What else do y'all want to hoop and holler about? Give me an idea. This is going to be a pretty busy off season for me here. I'm way behind on videos. I need to spend 2 or 3 days catching up, and getting videos out and edited and whatnot. But I also have some plans to go places and do some things, and kind of some off season stuff. And I do want to fish a lot more than what I did. Get out there and get some fishing done, and with my dad and that kind of stuff. Hopefully my son and my grandson. My dog is getting fat. Hope Snow Goose gets here soon. Yeah, we got dog training to do. Hopefully get on some turkeys this year. If my property doesn't flood again for the 3rd year in a row. Maybe get out and maybe do a public turkey hunt somewhere. I don't know. I really want to get out to Kentucky this year in the spring. Maybe not just the dog. I got some really good friends in Kentucky, and they've invited me if I want to come out. It's just a matter of when I call them and say I'm coming. I'd like to get out there and hunt with them. Excuse me. Sorry about that. If that's a possibility this year. But a lot of dog training. We're going to get Bougie right. She needs some correctiveness. She picked up a couple of bad habits this duck season, and I got to get rid of those. And so we're going to be doing a lot of that. Some will be filmed, some won't. We'll try to film as much as we can, but a lot of it's just going to be getting her out there and working her, doing that and fishing, and working on 2 places right now, some beaver ponds, and opening up some holes and getting them cleaned out so we can get in there. Got that. We got, let's see here, I'm going back to the range and start not only patterning guns, stuff like that, but also shooting skeet and trap and 5-stand, sporting clays, and that kind of stuff. Get all that going on as well. So it's going to be a busy off season. Get as much of it on film as I can for you. There you go. That's the plan anyway. Get the boat finished up. Randy, like I said, I got just about everything we need, and so it's just a matter of when you can do it. When I say you can do it, when we can do it. That's all that is. I did find that carpet you were talking about. I did not pick it up yet because I had to go back and measure the boards that are on the boat right now to make sure I get the right length. And but I know where they're at, so we got to get that. And let's see, that's about it. What else, guys? What else we got? We got about 7-8 minutes. Kind of want to pull this out to the end, but I'm about ready. I'm about talked out. I don't know what else y'all want to talk about. Let's see here. If you didn't watch the videos, Bougie turned 2, February the 6th. That was also February 6th. Also, I went 5 years on YouTube. Jeff, thank you so much for coming in, man. You have a blessed night. You take care of yourself. Keep me apprised on the snow geeses. Bougie had a 2-year birthday on the 6th of February, which happens to be the same day that I started YouTube. So I've been on here for 5 years now, which is kind of impressive. Now we just gotta work on the subscriber numbers, and let's get going here. But anyway, well, if y'all don't have anything else, if y'all don't have anything else for me, I guess we're gonna. What do we got here? Okay. If y'all don't have anything else for me tonight, we call this an early night. Unless you have a question, I'll give you a minute. If anybody else has a question or something you want to talk about. If not, well, we can call it a night. I wouldn't mind getting into bed early tonight. It's been a long day. It's been a long weekend, a long day. All right. Well, guys, listen, I sure do appreciate y'all stopping in. Again, if you want some Daddy Duck merch, head on over to www.daddyduck365.com. Take care of yourself, Charles. Get you some Daddy Duck merch. Also, If you haven't heard, get over to Salt Creek Custom Ammunition. Go over to his website. Man, I'm telling you right now, the guy makes some great stuff. And it's best if you take the Salt Creek stuff and put it together with the True Lock choke tube. I'm telling you right now, it's awesome tubes. I love them. And if you get a chance and you're looking for some new gear this year, get over to Biscuit Built 3D on Etsy. That's where usually you can find him. And get yourself, especially if you hunt the woods like I do in the swamps, get yourself a timber strap. He also has a DIY kit for a bilge pump feeder type duck. It's a DIY kit. And he's got some other things that he's coming up with that we discussed the other day. Can't let you in on it, but he's got some new stuff coming out. I'm hoping to get a handful of that and show y'all later. But anywho, y'all take care of yourselves. Y'all have a great week. Y'all have a blessed week, and we will see y'all next time on Daddy Duck 365. And before I leave, Claude, if you're still here, thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway, we'll see y'all next week.